Beautiful morning to beautiful people. I'm 52-year-old biologist, Nettie at the time, and today I'm going to talk about tension exercise and various hacks that I do. Well, essentially, I don't want to name the names, I need to be a bit of cryptic. They block my videos because my videos claim some things. For example, my testosterone 1100, and apparently I cannot say that without a properly laid out refund policy for something, and I need to point out that this is not for everyone. So although it's achievable, it's not for everyone. So that I'm gonna adjust my mic here probably. So I often do these tension exercises, and at present I reduce my testosterone because walking around with that high testosterone is not actually it's not good, it doesn't feel good, and you need to have fluctuating levels of androgens in your body, thereby you can sort of rest in between. So exercise, what I do is tension exercise. I do it sometimes, especially when I travel. I just tension the muscles, so it works in the opposite way. So for example, if I tension the chest, pectoral muscles, I think, then my opposite muscles, which is the back muscles, which would be the trapezoids, lower trapezoids, they would be strengthening, they would be lengthening and keeping the tension on the pectoral muscle. So pectoral go positive, the trapezoid go negative. And this is how you do, you exercise both muscles simultaneously in one exercise. So it's a little bit more work than usual. For example, if you do chests in the gym, chest push-ups or anything like that, you exercise only the chest, triceps. In this case, you exercise the large group of muscles here and the larger group of muscle there, because it's the largest muscles in the body, if put together. So, and you cannot do it any other way. So, my experience does help. The muscles grow even on this, so keep the muscle volume. And you do feel a lot from this. You feel the pump, you feel the tension, you feel the post-exercise fatigue, and you cannot do much of it because it's really taxing on your body. So, and then you can go the full range, so you can go as stretched as you want, being safe at the same time. So for example, you can start from here and you can go here or even here, so you can cross both your arms, so you're like on the machine in the gym, you can, and then at every part of the range you have the maximum tension, so which is good. There is no machine can do that. If you do weights, the maximum tension that you exert on the muscles, that would be some part of the range. For example, if it's too heavy here in the most stretched position, it would be much easier in the upper position. Whereas in this type of exercise, you go full range, and at every single step of the range, you do the full effort. Boo! Like a baby. Oh yeah, it's really taxing. So this is why it's good lightheaded because again I just woke up, and this brings up your blood pressure, lowers your blood glucose, obviously uses up. It uses it up, so that, and you can do just that, chest and back, for the biceps and triceps. I don't know if you can see this. So yeah, I've not been training for a month. As I mentioned in my previous video, I traveled for the Christmas party in London, and so basically I had only one training, push-ups, flies. So you need to be careful with the abdominal pressure. What do we have here? Can we see? A little bit of abs, yeah? I don't train abs that much. Because it can affect your heart. So although this is kind of static exercise, you're staying in one place, it does tax on your system. So you need to be careful. So you need to ease into this, you need to do the warm-up, like I do. So essentially I do warm-up now, and I'll do the proper exercises later on. But essentially this is the proper exercise. I don't know if I just go for my breakfast. So, in other news, I cannot name the name, though you obviously know the platform. They kind of block my videos because they sent me the email, because this is on the health topics and financial topics, that if you say something, for example, you achieved something, they construed it as a claim, and a claim that someone else can achieve this, and then you need to put up the disclaimer that also this is achievable in principle, this is improbable, so that the viewers can achieve that, which is, I mean, it's not difficult. For example, my testosterone 1100, that's just diet, and this is not some weird diet. I'm not eating some weird fish on the bottom of the ocean that nobody can get and only can buy from me, and don't sell that. It's just diet that is just proper science that's been established for years. Everybody in the scientific community know this, and apparently I cannot claim it on the videos. I cannot say this is what I do, because they're going to ban my videos. Okay, so I'm going to be implying from now on, I'm going to be implying what I do. Essentially, if I'm saying this is just diet, I think it's allowed, because diet does change the level of testosterone in the body. So this is the diet, folks. So yeah. So my 1100 testosterone, first of all, it was after 900 testosterone month, so couple months, 3 months, something like that prior, I did my blood test and it was 900. Mind you, all other parameters are normal, so it's not a compensation for my low free testosterone, which is, for example, because of the high SHBG. So this was proper, normal, holistic, healthy, high testosterone level. And yeah, that was the diet. I stacked all the healthy parameters in my diet, and avoiding the environmental impact of any pollutant, especially estrogenic pollutants like chemicals or environmental. So as you saw in my other video, I do my water myself. So I distill the water for quite a long now, years. It's difficult when you travel. When I travel, I prefer to buy bottle, in glass bottle, so water in glass bottle, and I do it myself. So I do this process, distill the water. It comes at about 1 gallon, and then I add 3 liters, and I add I don't know if it's a gallon, and about a gallon, I think, as far as I remember, some minerals, some solids to that, or you can add some salt, Himalayan salt. Yeah, that helps because you avoid pollutants from the basic source that people normally get from water, because we drink a lot of water. And you cook on that on water, and what else? So that, and the diet. So essentially, my diet is not peculiar diet, it's just balanced diet, and achieving balance is proper. Apparently it's most difficult because people tend to jump from one side, from one camp to the opposite camp, and they try to find followings, they try to find a cult, essentially. This is not a cult. I don't care what I eat. I can be astronaut, eating from a tube or wherever, if it was possible. Mind you, my stomach is very sensitive. I cannot eat gluten, I cannot eat lactose, I cannot eat milk products, and yeah, so it's not easy to live with that, actually, but I've been living with that all my life. So essentially one of the reasons why I was very thin and small in my childhood, because I was malnourished. I'm still eating like 50 grams of protein a day. About proper protein, okay, you can add some plant protein into that, because I eat bread, I eat obviously gluten-free bread, I eat vermicelli, rice, but that adds up about 30 grams of plant protein. So this is not ideal, this is lacking the necessary amino acids. So we're talking about like 60 grams of protein at present. Well, this is why I consider my results from permanent myostatin inhibition remarkable. Also, I look thin, not even do even lift type, but I still had muscle and was muscular, even malnourished for month and month when I had my issues with the stomach, when I had food poisoning, which lasted, repercussion lasted for quite a long time. So, and I didn't exercise, and I still had muscles, so which is great. And why I don't exercise? Because that is, for me, it's a bit too much. So you lift and you're shifting weights, essentially. This is pointless. Go build a house, get a plot of land, grow food there. What's the point going to the gym and lifting weight? This is what I do now. This is just waking up routine. It takes 5-10 minutes at most. And then sometimes I do it in the middle of the day, like I work and then I need to kind of freshen up. So instead of drinking coffee, I never drink coffee, which is, in my opinion, really unhealthy. This is why my channel goes against everything, because every establishment, fitness establishment, health gurus establishment, because I don't propagate any one narrative, like I don't propagate any one brand. I don't advise you to buy this supplement or this supplement. In my opinion, the less pills you take, the better. So you need to look for a protocol to avoid pills, even if there is a chance that one pill gives you like 1% advantage, you don't need that, even 5%. If you can get away with this, without this, you can do away with it, if you can do without this, this is the better way. The less pills, because yeah, every pill has a side effect. Rarely pills have only benefits, but they are such, because what is pills? This is extrapolation from what we have in nature. Basic food, even food can be a medicine, obviously. So what was saying? I was saying, yeah, and so I do it sometimes in the middle of the day, in the evening, when I have time. So shifting weights is not really for me. I did that, I tried that again, I tried it like years ago before my permanent myostatin inhibition experiment, and I did go to the gym, okay, my experience, every single day, 5 times a week, and 1 hour session. I came home after the gym, my eyes like, you know, open, I cannot do anything because I just like, I exhausted my my nervous system. I cannot do anything except like switch on the telly. I don't play games, but this is what people would do because they don't have energy, they don't have mental energy to do anything else. So it was really getting, you know, under my skin because I couldn't do anything. So, and I was like this, I was still, no way I looked like this, no way. I was just toned, like I was lifting 60 kilos, curling, and I didn't look like I was lifting ever. it was really funny. And so I stopped that because it's really counterproductive. So yeah, permanent myostatin inhibition really gave me the edge. I started having this feeling like my muscle exercised already without me lifting a thing. It doesn't develop the muscles into the full range of monstrosity, but it helps. And in one video I explained why it doesn't develop, because I didn't have this influence when my muscular system was developing, and my stem cells were able to expand. Now they're in specific niche and they're ready just to kick in when you have an injury or something like that. So when you exercise, you introduce a little bit of injury, or you introduce a little bit of growth factors, which is very important as well, which stimulate attract the cells, so it's kind of chemical attractions, to the spot that exercise. Even lactic acid, that when you exercise, you turn your glycogen into lactic acid, which attracts the stem cells, attracts macrophages that also release growth factors. So this is a really complex process. But this is, you know, limited. It's not like taking steroids here or anything. So yeah, before that I was just toned. So my permanent myostatin inhibition experiment worked. Would I do that? Probably yes. Yeah, definitely yes, because it saved me a lot of time and effort. And those gym gurus, so fitness coaches or something, this is their livelihood. So for them, doing that every day, lifting, that makes sense. For me, it doesn't. I just want to be a normal person, but kind of muscular. Kind of, I like the way I look. So this is not too much, not too little. I can do a little bit more. I can fill up my frame. I don't bother. I can afford that at present. For example, I rarely do abs. Also, this is the front, and this is the majority, the glue that pull everything, you know, all the muscles together. I realize that, but I'm not a bodybuilder. Probably I should start doing that, and I do sometimes do that. So, for example, people actually commented, "Oh, I see pictures with you in the gym, I see videos." I do go to the gym occasionally to test my strengths, to to see if this is muscles or something, how much my strengths correlate to my muscle mass. So what I can say, if you don't train strength, you're not that strong. So if you don't lift, for example, if you don't lift, if you don't curl, you warm up, you're ready to go. Actually, I didn't try that. I don't know my curling weight now, because it's a lot of effort. So you need to warm up, you need to prepare, and then it would engage biceps, it would engage the shoulders and the core and everything. It's really taxing, so I don't want it. I tried, again, I'll go once, on average, if you spread out, I'll go once a month, something like that. I do exercises that I cannot do at home. Sometimes I enjoy doing some exercising. I would go to the gym if it was near, and for example, I have dumbbells at home. I do dumbbells sometimes. So what I enjoy doing this, which is what I have here. Cable pull down. So if I have a client, I would do all the same that I do. So I advise the same. Depends on the level. If it's advanced athletes, which I don't have, because normally they use steroids and everything. I have a protocol for that, but I just don't use it myself. And at present, because I have some other issues. And if it's normal folk, so I would advise to ease into this, establish mind-muscle connection first, proper diet, proper hydration, proper exercise, so to avoid injury, and then see the progress. And the diet, for example, like permanent myostatin inhibition actually brought me up from the bottom down, brought me up to the normal level. So I see people developed just because they born like this and fat in the childhood. I was malnourished when I was little. My family was poor, and we didn't have time, and like consuming only carbohydrates for the day was normal. So so I had a bit of a disadvantage. Now it brought me up forward. So I think it would give anyone the technique that I use to avoid side effects. It would give me about 30% advantage, which is a lot. And proper diet gives about 30% or even more, 30 to 50%. So if you only eat properly and exercise occasionally, you would look much more spot on. You would look much better than the person that eats a slob but exercise a lot. You know the examples. They'll be big, but they would be watery. They don't understand that. I have seen people that they like pumped up the watery, but they don't realize that. So for the coaching, for sorting out the routine, I prefer like I can converse on the forward of the future plans and establishing the plan rather than coaching, because you coach only for the competition, exhibition, something like that, professionals. You can coach someone who's new, obviously, but if someone knows what he's doing, he doesn't need to spend that much money. You just need to adjust occasionally, give a little advice on here, on there, hair loss, skin condition, slimming down, fat loss, and so on. health parameters as well. So that would be just a converse consultation. So yeah, I would do that. And if steroids, if there was a protocol, and there is a protocol, but again, this is mostly for younger people. I'm not advising again, because they're blocking such videos, they're blocking channels. They're blocking channels that talk about this. They don't even show anything, they just talk about this. But essentially they're talking protocols and everything, so. And I'm 52, obviously I can relate to someone older. And but again, I've seen people doing this improperly, even in their 20s, so they kind of blew up and they looked really watery. Maybe there's muscle in there, behind the layer of fat and water, but if they set on trimming down, they would lose everything and they would look like me, essentially. That's ridiculous. So what the point? Yeah, you got 2 sizes bigger, walk like this, for the sake of what? They look red, blood pressures through the roof, health parameters down the drain, and they age a lot in their 20s, that's really bad. So, dry muscle, the diet. So the diet, the basis of everything. So with the diet, with the proper diet and exercise, you can see progress, but the progress doesn't happen overnight. It would be some time. So with that, I wish you all the best, be well and swell, beautiful people. And I continue probably for 5 minutes doing like this. See you later.